Hey, welcome. We are in Intro to Illustrator, and in our textbook, Adobe Illustrator CS6 by Tony Toland and Anessa Hartman. And we're going to be working in Chapter 3, and specifically we're going to be on page 50, working on the lesson that's called, I believe, Elizabeth's Eye. And in this file, first of all, you should have launched Illustrator by now, which, as you can see, I already have. We are supposed to choose File and Open, and then we are going to open 3L1, which again, you can see that I've already got that open as well. And we're going to check that the Essentials workspace is selected in the upper right-hand corner of the application bar. So you're going to go over here to Essentials, and that is selected, but because I've worked in it a bit since the last time I had this open, I'm just going to say Reset Essentials and make sure that everything is put back to where it needs to be placed. All right, and actually I don't like it like that because I want to bring the tools out here so you can see those as well. All right. We're going to choose Window and Layers to open the layers. So you want to go up to the menu item, Window, and then down to Layers. And these are alphabetized, so it's fairly easy to find. We're going to open Layers. And then we are going to take a look at the layers in the textbook as well. And you'll see on figure 311 that that organizes the various elements of an illustrator or of an illustration. And there are already several layers created for this document, and you'll see all of these layers that are already created for the document. We're going to unhide the box layer by turning on the visibility option in the layers panel. So you'll see here's the box layer, and we're going to turn on the visibility, which is that little space for the eye. If you just click in here, that's going to turn on the box. And then we are going to import a bitmap. And we're going to highlight the box layer first. Now that would be this layer. And then we are going to click the Create New Layer icon at the bottom of the Layers panel, which is right here. And you'll see that we make a new layer then on top of the box layer. And we're going to double click on the new layer right here. And that's going to allow us to rename it. And I'm not sure, let's see, we are supposed to call it iBitmap. And then we're also supposed to open up the options for that layer. So it did not, because I double clicked right here, it let me rename it, but it didn't open up the options panel. So after I renamed it, then I came over here to the right of that name and double clicked again, and then it brought up the layer options. Let's see. And so I guess that's all we needed to do. We didn't want to set it as a template, and we didn't want to dim the image. We just simply wanted to rename it. Since that's already been done, I'm just going to click OK. And again, make sure that that's highlighted. And then we're going to go to File on the menu bar and click Place from the menu bar. And now we're going to browse back into where you have downloaded your lesson files. I have mine under a folder called Winter 2016 GRD 100IL. And I'm going to look under Chapter 3 Lessons, under Assets, and I'm going to select Elizabeth Eye. And then I'm going to click Place. And this is a little bit different in that you'll note that with this particular version of Illustrator, it doesn't automatically place it on that square. Instead, it looks like it's an icon that has that's a loaded icon. Now, one of the nice things about Illustrator now is if I wanted to place 3 or 4 images or 5 images, I could select all 5 of those, and then it would give me the option of placing one of those at a time. But I just have one. And so I am going to click, let's see, what does it say here about make sure that Elizabeth I JPEG is selected on the artboard. Okay, so I'm going to click here to place it on the artboard. We hope that it was placed here someplace. Where'd she go? Yeah, it's there. I don't know why I can't see it. Okay, this is going to take a second and I'll be right back. Okay, you can see that I've stepped back a couple of steps, and I do have the new layer created, and I also have it named iBitmap, and this time I'm going to turn off the box and see. I think when I made that layer, let's see, were we supposed to duplicate it? Just create a new layer. Well, that's weird. All right, so we're going to try that again. I'm going to do a file and place. And we're going to navigate out to where that Elizabeth I is. We're going to click on place. And I'm going to see if she disappears again. No, she doesn't that time. Okay, it just must have been some kind of a fluke there. So now I've got the I placed. I'm going to try to make this a little bit larger. And then the next step is to resize it. So you want to make sure that it's still selected, which she is. You can tell, or the I is, you can tell that it's selected by the little squares around the I. And then we want to go to the control panel that shows the measurements of this, of the selection. And we want the width and height options constrained. The chain will be unbroken. Then we're going to enter W331. We want it constrained. So this is where you would identify whether or not it was constrained with this little lock. And we are going to enter width 331 points to reduce the bitmap size. So the width 331 and hit tab. And because it was constrained, it did make that a reduction proportionally. So I'm going to click and drag that with my selection tool and place the eye back up so it's centered on the box. All right, so now number 9 on page 52, in the control panel at the top of the screen, we're going to click on the embed button if it is available. So we're going to go up here, and because mine is already embedded, so it says unembed, so if I clicked on that, you'll see, I thought maybe it would change it back to giving you the option to embed it. But it is, mine is already embedded, but if you have that little icon there saying embed then you want to make sure that you click on that so that it's embedded. What that means is that image is going to be saved with this file now. It's not a placed or a borrowed image. It's instead going to be a part of this file. The bad part of that is that it increases the file size, but the good part of it is that you're never going to lose that I because it will be filed with this file every time you save it and close it. All right. Now, on number 10, we are going to, for fun, choose Effect Warp Fisheye. So again, you want to make sure that that is still selected. We're going to go to Effect, Warp, and over to Fisheye. If you click on that, that's going to bring up warp options, and we're going to adjust the bend option by moving the slider to 72%. So you can see what the impact of that is. Preview the effect on the bitmap by selecting the preview option. Mine is selected. If yours was not, you can click on this and then the change should be immediately visible to you without accepting it, without having to say OK. All right, you might need to move the warp options in window, which is I did just a little bit, so that you can see the eye itself. Now we're going to click cancel to close the warp options without altering the bitmap. If you want, you can change that as well so you can see the impact of these changes. So we're going to cancel it anyway, so that would show you the impact if we were to change the distortion some, and oh, that's kind of interesting, and the horizontal and vertical as well. Okay, but again, oh, that's weird. All right, so we're just going to cancel out of there. We don't want to accept that. Then on page 53, we're going to click on the eye bitmap layer. So again, we want to make sure the layers are visible. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click on the eye bitmap layer to highlight it. And then we're going to use the Layers Panel Options menu to choose Template. So we're going to go up to Layer, wherever that is. Yes, maybe we're going to go over here, Layers Panel Options, if I would listen to what I'm actually saying. And then we're going to choose Template. Now this will automatically dim the image and will lock the layer so we can't draw on it inadvertently. So I'm going to click Template, and you'll see that it's automatically dimmed, and there's the lock, and you'll see this funny little icon now that indicates this is now a template layer. We're going to go to File, and we're going to do a Save As, and we're going to rename it. I'm just going to do an underscore in my name and save. We're going to leave the version set to Illustrator CC, although the text says to leave it set to CS6, and then we're going to click OK. The other options are all right. Now we're going to unhide and unlock the lines layer in the Layers panel. So if you go here to Lines, we're going to unhide it, and then we're going to unlock it. And you'll see the lines traced around the image of the eye have already been created. Constructing lines, or paths as they're called in Illustrator, is the first step in creating an image in Illustrator. And so we're going to choose the Selection tool in the Tools panel, which we've already got that chosen. And then you can explore selecting the different paths here on this layer. And that's going to do it for this demo. If you, I do have, I think, one more demo for you to review, or two. If you have questions or problems with the lesson and need me to add another demo, please be sure and ask. I'd be happy to do that. Thanks, and we'll talk to you later.